up, guys? I'm John.
I'm Sharisse.
And we are back with another Cupid's Corner.
Finally, we're back with another Cupid's Corner.
That's
Yay!
right. Every week, my beautiful little wife over here, I'll bring you guys tips, tricks, and things that will hopefully ignite, excite, and bring your relationship to all new, healthy, and loving, pleasurable levels. So at that point, we got some good topics for you today. Well, I guess we got one topic. It kind of involves us. So just recently, okay, me and Sharisse had our 17-year anniversary. Trust me, you want to make your life easy? Make your woman happy.
Happy wife, happy life, baby. 17 years. You don't even hear about 17 days nowadays.
It's tough. It's tough out there.
It's tough out there.
We're swiping right, swiping left, and
up and down.
And all the other
different
things
apps
going on there, and
hidden
DMs,
apps.
and
yeah,
who knows,
right? Some of the girls here talk about it, and I'm like, what?
So many ways to communicate with people. It's just ridiculous these days, and it seems like there's just so many options out there that people just don't want to invest anything into something that they might need to work for. It's all about instant gratification these days. And are people happier, you think, or you think they're not? I mean, listen, being together 17 years with Sharisse, obviously we've went through ups, downs, but everything's been pretty good, right? I mean, but there's nothing perfect that's out there. Everything tries to be perfect. People try to be perfect. People try to have perfect relationships. That's just not the truth, right? Everything needs work. And at that point, imperfections are sometimes those little imperfections are what make things so beautiful. So, you know, if you had to work for a relationship, then you might value the relationship a little bit more.
Yeah.
I value my relationship with Sharisse a lot more as time goes on. I valued it in the beginning. You know, at that point, you learn more about your partner. You build together in these different aspects. It just depends, right? Like me and Sharisse's relationship was, if I had to put in a light term, was light speed. Because it was real quick, real fast.
Lightning speed. I would just like to insert a comment here. Anybody who likes to watch our show, or anybody in different cities or wherever, different countries, that, you know, when me and John first met and you guys said that we were crazy and we'd never make it, here we are 17 years later, probably one of the strongest couples that there is. And we work together every day. I think he is definitely getting annoyed with me at some point, but you know, he still goes home and gives me a kiss goodnight. So that's all that really matters. But ultimately, everybody told us, because of how quick we went through the motions, that it would never work. We were crazy. This is just, it's not going to last, yada, yada, yada. And then, you know, a lot of the people that said that, you know, I see now on social media, like, you know, divorce here, breakup there, 15th husband here, whatever. So, just wanted to insert a comment to all of you guys out there.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's sitting back and being, you know, an observer of what's going on out there. You see a lot of different things. And I literally live vicariously through a lot of my friends. Because, you know, some of them are married, some of them are not married. So at that point, I always get the gist. And, you know, ask them, hey, listen, what's going on out there? You know, the single guy. And then, you know, the other guy, hey, listen, how's the marriage going and stuff like that, you know. And single guy, hey, listen, it's kind of crazy out here, but, you know, I'm doing my thing and just, you know, rapping through all this. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, the married couple, like, you know, like you see married couples in like 1-2 years and they're having problems. Like that's a problem, right? Like 1 to 2 years, you should still be in like a honeymoon phase.
Somewhat, right?
Drastically happens. That
what do they call? What's the number? I think it's the 7-year mark, right?
Yeah, the 7-year mark is where it's like you might have second guesses about the relationship.
Yeah.
They say if you get past the 7-year mark, then you're good to go. Right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So, you know, at that point, like, I don't know, I would take day by day, week by week, month by month, and just keep going, right? Instead of, we're going to be together 10 years right off the bat. Like, nobody thinks like that. And we didn't think like that. Like, we didn't think like, oh man, we're going to have this kid, we're going to have this, like, that was not our thought. It was not in the plan. I mean,
a lot of what we have done to this point was not in a plan.
Yeah, I mean, you know, having Peter, you know, all that stuff, that was planned, right?
Yeah, and we did that in the first 3 months.
But, you know,
yes, we're crazy.
At that point, like, you know, things happen, right? You know, situations, scenarios. You know, at that point, you have to adapt to some situations, and at that point, our relationship had to adapt or change, but we grew together as we did it. And I think that's really important.
And that's the thing too, like, you're supposed to grow together, even though you guys, because I really do, at the core, me and John have not changed one bit, okay? But through the years, we're talking like 2 decades almost, we have changed, right? Our goals have changed, priorities change, mental maturity changes, maybe emotional states changes. There's a lot of changes that take place as you get older. We do hormones for a living, but thank God we have a clinic to make sure that our hormones are in check. But all kinds of things change. So the whole point is that if you guys change, to not, change in separate ways. It's like, okay, you could still be your person. I'm still my person. We're going to change, but we're going to head in the same direction and we're going to do it together.
So I guess the big question from everybody out there would be, how do you grow together instead of growing apart, right? And that's the secret. The secret is that one is something we mention every time, is communication. Being able to talk to your partner and having your partner be able to listen to you too as well.
We have come like leaps and bounds.
It works both ways, not just talking, but listening too. So,
not yelling.
You're not yelling, right? Not fighting, not yelling, not arguing.
Screaming
but
and throwing things.
Having a conversation about things. What you don't like, what you do like, and at that point going down that path. The second thing is spending time. Time creates a bond. The more time you spend with somebody or something, whether it's your dog, your cat, whatever it is, right?
True.
It creates more of a bond because you spent more time together. It is what it is. Same thing with the Army and all these other things, right? They spend a lot of time with each other. They got each other's backs. They grow together. If you don't spend time together, it's harder to grow together.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody's on one path, somebody's on another path. You guys never see each other. You guys never hang out. You guys might see each other for an hour when you come home.
You have outside, you might even have outside influences that you constantly have that could possibly be, listen, that's a thing.
I think, no, honestly.
That's a thing, man. Some people.
I agree.
Some people, okay, are not strong enough to withstand outside influences, right? Yep. So you might, maybe if you're not spending as much time as you probably should be spending together, and you're constantly with an outside influence, whether it's a friend, a mom, a dad, an aunt, an uncle, cousin, I don't know, the neighbor, and they're constantly, maybe there's negativity in your ear all the time. And, not to say you're not strong or you are or whatever it might be, but you cave. And that happens.
It's called the brainwashing effect. It's been proven. CIA does it. Right? Interrogations did it in the Army, same way. If you keep pushing into somebody the exact same thought over and over and over, you're eventually going to break them down. Some people are strong enough to withstand this, but not a lot. So once you get broken down, then you are just accepting, right? And then you do. So at that point, you got to be strong enough and you got to be able to step up for your partner. I think that's the other thing too, is having your partner's back in every situation scenario. Even if you don't like what's going on, have the back in public.
Yep. Behind the doors,
do it
like,
later.
Hey,
right?
I didn't like that, but I still had your back in public. Yeah.
You show everybody on the outside that you're solidified.
You're one.
Right?
Yeah.
And then when you get behind the doors, you guys can have that conversation. But it's between you, and nobody sees the chinks in the armor that they can attack. Because once they see those little
weaknesses,
they attack. It's just like an animal in the jungle. They see one and it's weak, it's hurt, it's limping, they're going to go for it 110%.
Back in the day, I had no filter, right? So if something happened out in public, right? And granted, I'm like 22, guys, okay? Don't judge me. But I literally just be like, I would just yell and pop off, and it would be the worst thing ever. And it would be incredibly embarrassing for not just me, but for John and for both of us. And I'm like, oh, I see what makes Sharisse mad. I see. So, it's still the same thing that makes me mad. So it's never, it's not changed. I just learned how to manage it a little better. But that's an example of like, don't do that. Like make sure you guys are on the forefront together. This goes with your friends. This goes in public. And guess what? It goes with your kids. Yep. That's a big one, because kids will really, kids, you can have different, thoughts about what you want to do with the kids, and the kid says this and goes to plays the mommy daddy thing, and there you go. You got a problem.
Got to be solidified.
It's important.
So that's it. 17 years, going on forever. God. So you know, I hope you guys like this episode. You heard a little bit of a backstory about us and our anniversary and kind of how we met and all that. And then we gave great tips on how you can make your own great relationship or even improve it, right? Make time for your partner. Even if you guys work a ton, set time, set a schedule like it's a business meeting and go have fun.
And number one rule of mine, don't go to bed mad at each other. It's a thing. Just don't do it.
That's it. Tune in every Sunday, Cupid's Corner, 11 a.m., right? ABC.
11 a.m. ABC.
11 a.m. ABC. If you don't
Every
watch
Sunday.
it live, DVR it. If you don't DVR it, don't worry. Check it on YouTube. We got all the great episodes. We have some clips on our social media too as well. We'll see you next Sunday with Cupid's Corner. Me and my beautiful wife, Sharisse.
See you then. Ta-da.